Be strong.
Welcome to another episode of This Is How I Do It. So, today's episode, we're going to be talking about children and how to deal with the coming of age of your child. Every child, I have to put this disclaimer out there, every child grows at a different rate. Every child has completely different personalities, and you can't expect all your children to be exactly alike. I know that firstborn was golden and they did everything right. The second one, more than likely, is not going to be like that one. So you have to switch up with the child. I have three children, three biological kids that live with me. My daughter, she's older and an adult, so she's already out of the house. So I have kids in pretty much every stage. I don't want to say my daughter's age if she doesn't want me to, but my son, my oldest son, is 21. He just turned 21. Yay! He just turned 21. My middle son is 12, and the youngest, which we're trying to wean him off being called the baby, is he turned 7 this year, or almost last year, depending on when you see this. So he turned 7, and this we're in 2020 right now. So I say all that to say I've been through a lot. I know for the most part with my kids, like I said, what is this called? This is how I do it. So don't write in, don't say a whole bunch of crazy stuff because it's like I'm telling you how I did it just to give you an idea of what might work for you because it worked for me. So that's why it's called This Is How I Do It. So um, today I was talking to someone and they were saying that their kid is at a certain age and they don't really cook for themselves. This person, she does everything. She's a phenomenal mom and she does everything for her child. She is an only child, and she does everything for her child. And the the child is really really smart. It's and I know this is not to say, oh, what are you trying to say? No, it's just that this everyone knows a child who's way beyond the year that it says on their birth certificate. That child is that child. So it's like when I was like, you're not you're still cooking, like not cooking, but you're still like making sandwiches for your kid. Why? I'm like, they're really smart. Like, I could probably teach that person algebra and they'll probably get it. They'll get at least the concept of it. That's how smart they are. So I'm like, no, you do a lot. You do a lot. You do a lot for all of us. So you need to wean off and let them start doing what's what they know, what you teach them to do. So they agreed and they were like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, because our oldest started cooking probably when he was like 10, and I mean on the stove, like shh. 12-year old cooks. He just cooked dinner a couple of days ago, full-fledged chicken, rice, vegetable, salad. These kids can do it. They have the capacity to learn a lot faster. This 2.0, 3.0 version of us, they they grasp things a lot quicker. But what I found talking to this person, I found that they grew up in a strict house. They grew up in a household where, maybe things weren't quite done for them. They had to really do things on their own and like learn how to do things early because their parent was in survival mode. So just like my parents, they were in survival mode. So it wasn't that they didn't love you. It's just that they didn't have time at that time to really stop and coddle you. It was kind of like, yo, let's go. You got to get us going. And I started cooking really early. But I like to cook. I like to watch my dad cook. So that's how I started to cook early. Now, my oldest son was the same thing. He would watch his dad cook, and he liked it, and then he started cooking. Now, my middle son was a little different. I had to notice that he wasn't like my oldest. So, and then once I noticed that, I said, okay, I'm going to have to, I wouldn't say use the word force, but I would have to encourage and have him start cooking. And the way I did that was, first I taught him. I was like, okay, this is what you do with this. This, and even if he has the face like, still do it. Fix your face, let's go. This is how you do this. But lucky for me, he loves to learn. So he wanted to learn. So it wasn't too many, but there were days that he was like, I don't feel like cooking. I was like, do you think I feel like cooking every day? Get in the kitchen. So, but I taught him step by step. I didn't just throw him in there. I taught him the safeties of cooking, the dangers if you're not paying attention, how to cook, how long to cook. And that went on for about a week or so, I believe, roughly a week or so, on and off. A couple of weeks actually, on and off, before he actually made his first meal by himself. So it's, if you have little kids, like if they're like 7 or like even 8, don't put them on the stove. They don't. I'm not telling anyone to put their kids on the stove. That's not what I'm saying. So do not put your kids on the stove. That is not what I'm saying. But they can make their own sandwich. They can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If they're really hungry, they can. Because what you don't want, what no one wants, is your kid not, a kid who's not able to fend for themselves, who's not able to kind of, if I'm hungry, yo, damn, I'm hungry. There's no one around. They're not calling you talking about, oh, where you at? I need to eat. So it's like, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. So like I told my like I told the person, you got to let go a little bit. And it's all about letting go. It's all about letting go and knowing that they're going to be okay. They're going to figure it out. Like my youngest, my husband has this thing about, oh, don't give him food, it's hot, he's blowing on it and stuff. And it's like, you can't do that. You don't do it to our middle son. You definitely don't do it to our oldest son or daughter. So it's like, don't do this, and you didn't do this with the other kids. So it's like, but with my husband, this is the last one. There's no more after this one. So it's like, he coddles him, which I get, but it's like, I have to keep telling him, because what I don't want, he's 7 now. So what I don't want is for him to be 10 years old and my husband's still blowing on his food. That's crazy. If you can't learn hot, then you have a problem. So today I was like, no, let him figure it out. And he figured it out, and he ate his food, and it eventually cooled down. So I say all that to say, you gotta let your kids grow up. You got, especially the only child, because I know that's the only one, and especially the baby. I understand, but you have to let them grow up. You have to let them begin to have their own responsibilities, because if you don't, and you do everything for them, and you stay out of balance, they are going to be out of balance. When you're out of balance, your kids are out of balance. So you have to kind of be like, okay, I'm not saying, throw the reins and you don't got to do nothing no more. That's not what I'm talking about. There has to be a balance between, me and balance. There has to be a balance between They don't know what they're doing. I do everything for them, and they're off to the wind. Figure it out. I'm on vacation. There's a balance between the two. And the best way that like I said, this is how I do it. What I did was, and how I did it was, I took them step by step, and I said, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And then if they have any questions, go back. You got to remember they're kids. Don't go, please, 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 please stop going. I told you already. Didn't I tell you how to do this right? That is not okay. It's not, because it's going to make the kid not want to come to you. It's going to make the kid feel that they're not very smart. And that's not what, and then eventually they're going to still get it wrong. And then you're going to have an argument and be upset and all that stuff. So it takes a moment to be kind. One moment to be kind. Just go back the same way you have to learn things over and over again. They're kids. They're definitely going to have to learn things over and over again. So be patient. Be patient. Give them leeway to make mistakes. Maybe they made a mess. Teach them to clean up their mess. Teach them the safeties of a butter knife, because you can get hurt with a butter knife. Teach them the safeties of a butter knife. And then when they graduate to a sharp knife, teach them the safeties of a sharp knife. When they graduate from the toaster to the microwave, or from the microwave to the toaster, whichever one you feel is safer, and then they graduate to the soap, everything has its safety precautions that you tell them. Be upfront, tell them what the safety precautions are, how to stay safe in the kitchen, the dangers of the kitchen. The kitchen's not a playground, and they'll be fine. But you have to let them grow. You have to let them grow up. All right. I hope you guys like this. Comment below if you liked it. If not, it will get better. Stay with us. I will talk to you guys soon. Stay up, stay blessed, and let those kids grow up. Deuces.